Welcome back to Open Window Politics. Today we're going to be going through an analysis of the Ohio 6th District special election, and I'll be giving you guys my prediction for what I think the makeup of the House of Representatives will look like following the 2024 elections. So first up, let's get started. So this is Ohio's 6th District, and right now we're in the 2020 election results, and we'll scroll down here a bit. So in the Ohio 6th District during the 2022 elections, the Republican was able to win the seat with 67.7% of the vote, in this case Bill Johnson, and the Democrat was able to get about 32 points, which it's clearly a Republican district. It's not meant to be competitive. It is certainly a Republican district. But then in a recent special election, the Democrat was able to get 45.3% of the vote. It was a special election, so there was far less turnout, but the Democrat was able to overperform with 45% of the vote compared to in 2022 with 32% of the vote. So going from another 13 points up was pretty great for the Democratic Party. They were able to do pretty well in a couple of these counties. They were able to get pretty close, and they were able to narrowly win. I believe that's the largest county, or the most population dense in the district. Yep, would appear that way. And there's a couple others. But yeah, the race was far closer than anybody was expecting. The race could possibly be an indicator of future Democratic success in House election results. We'll take a look at the 2024 map here. So this is the 270 to win kind of prediction of what they believe the House of Representatives will look like, what the makeup will be. They, of course, they characterize all the, I'm not sure why Montana is, that should be red. They characterize all the safe and likely districts, as well as the lean, and leave the battleground districts up for us to characterize. And I think there's going to be quite a few factors here. Regardless, I think it'll be a less than 4-seat majority for whatever party ends up controlling the House of Representatives. Democrats are, Ohio or Idaho also shouldn't be Republican, or shouldn't be Democratic. Hopefully let me reset the map and see if, okay, yep. So this leaves us with Republicans at 209 to start off, with Democrats at 201. And Republicans are defending a fair bit of ground here, which is going to be interesting and will definitely play an impact on the election results. But I do believe there's going to be a couple factors that indicate that Democrats are likely to do certainly better. They may narrow the Republican majority in the House by 1 or 2 seats, but it's already quite close. I'm not certain at the moment which party will be able to gain control of the House of Representatives, but I do think that as of right now, the generic ballot polling is very close and that Republicans are probably slightly in the lead. We'll have to see how that turns out on Election Day. But with the competitive races in Arizona, I do believe that the abortion referendum is likely to have a down ballot effect, or up ballot effect on the races there, and I do believe that those two will likely narrowly tilt towards the Democratic Party. Most of the California seats, 1 or 2 of them, are likely going to be going to the Democratic Party. The rest are pretty competitive. And then we get to the Omaha district there. And Don Bacon has been a pretty popular congressman there, but it is a tilt Democratic district kind of thing. It's very competitive, but Biden will likely end up winning it on the presidential level for that ever important one electoral college vote. But so I do think that Don Bacon is likely to lose his seat there. And then in New Mexico, that I believe is still held by a Democrat. And we got the Colorado competitive district there, which is, I believe, also held by a Democrat. And then when we get to New York and the Pennsylvania and Jersey, there's quite a few competitive districts there. I think many of those are going to fare well for the Democratic Party. In 2022, there was a pretty slightly more competitive governor race in New York than many people were predicting, and that kind of helped carry the Republicans through in quite a few of these districts. And but I doubt that with Biden at the top of the ticket isn't going to be helping the Republicans in Congress too much, especially in New York. It is, at heart, they are competitive, if not tilt Democratic seats. And I do think that Biden is going to help increase their House majority or House minority, we'll have to see how it ends up being, by a couple seats, by the Democrats being able to overperform in New York. And the 2 seats in Pennsylvania, those are going to be close. I do think that those are likely going to go to the Democratic Party. We'll have to see what happens on election night, but that's my guess as of now. And then the North Carolina district there, I'm not sure which one that is. It might be the 1st district. That one is likely to end up being one of the most competitive races in the country. And I forgot to mention, in Alaska, that one's probably going to go to Mary Peltola. She's the incumbent. She's likely going to do pretty well in the state. She was able to win her last race by a pretty big margin. And there are lots of factors that indicate that could report that Mary Peltola is likely to do well there again. So we'll have to see what happens on election night, but I do think as of now, I predict Republicans have a 1 or 2 seat, maybe probably 1 to 4 seat majority in the House of Representatives. Things could certainly change, but I do think that the map is just slightly in their favor. There have been a couple changes from this map from the 2022 one. There's been some redistricting in North Carolina, which took off a few Democratic seats, as well as a new minority district in Louisiana, which is going to be another seat for the Democratic Party. You can kind of sign to see it there. And I do think there's going to be quite a few factors involved in this election, but I do think that it's likely to be a 1 to 4 seat majority for the Republican Party. We'll have to see what happens on the presidential level, because that will likely be an indicator of what happens down ballot, but we'll have to see. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe.